Hi, my name is Claudia Quintanilla. I'm a knitwear designer based in Toronto, and the video today is about our knit along for the summer 2026. In this video, we're going to be talking about three things: tools that you need for the t-shirt, techniques that you need to know to make a flawless t-shirt, and prices. You're gonna need two types of needles, one that is like about 3.25 and the another one that is about 3.75. Don't take that the way I'm saying it, because you have to do a gauge swatch. In this t-shirt, it's absolutely necessary to do a gauge swatch because the type of jars that we're going to be using. So the first tool that you need is your needles. Another thing that you're going to be needing is markers. My advice is that you take 3 markers that they're the same and 1 marker that is a bit different, just because you want to be marking where you start and where you end. So I'm going to be using this beautiful crystal marker and these gold markers. So you just need 4 markers and one have to be different. Then again, you remember where you start and where you end. Then you're going to need a tapestry needle. Why you're going to need a tapestry needle? Because you're going to be doing stripes and you're going to need to wave some ends quite often. Not quite often, but a little bit. So you need a tapestry needle, you need a measurement tape, mostly to measure yourself, to know which size you're going to be knitting. Remember that the ease in this top is like about 2 to 4 inches. I like to leave my summer tops like with very little ease, because again, this kind of jars that we're gonna be using for the summer, they tend to stretch. And this is something that I'm very particular at it. I'm going to suggest you to have a ruler, a transparent ruler to measure your gauge. This is the best way to get a good gauge, because the piece doesn't move and you just basically go in the top of your swatch and you can count very clearly the stitches that there are in 4 inches. This is a tool that's been with me for a really long time and it's really good investment. You don't have to necessarily get this one. You can get just one from the children box for geometry. Anything that is transparent would allow you to see your gauge better. And you need a pair of scissors because you're going to be cutting jar constantly. Please don't do it with your fingers. It's really painful. You need a pair of scissors to cut your thread. The last thing that I left that you need, I leave it in the end because it's very important, is you're gonna need jars. And in my case, the one that I'm going to be knitting with you, I have chose Duo by Garn. And this jar is half wool, half cotton. And I absolutely like it because it's going to give a very good structure to my t-shirt. So I'm going to be doing a second shirt because I want people to have a second option for a pattern that I'm working on. It's going to be out next week. And the second one is going to be done with line. What is a beautiful jar is 53% cotton, 35% viscose, and 40% linen. Don't be scared of the blend. The blend is beautiful. It's hung really beautiful. This is not my type of preferred jar for the top, just because I don't like garments and they're not really structured. I like things that they're smaller because I tend to wear my t-shirts with squares, and my squares tend to be very big. So if I have a shirt that doesn't have a structure, it looks really messy and it's always falling this way, and I really don't like that. So my preference is the Duo, but it's all depend on what you prefer. So I want to give you 2 options. These are very good options, but again, they're not the only options, because you can go and combine a fingering with a lace and get a beautiful garment out of it with totally different look, because the texture is going to change a lot of the looks of the stripes. The only one that I have here was a combination of fingering with mohair, and I absolutely like it. Reason why I like it is because it can be worn in a cold summer in the evenings, or can be worn in the winter or in the autumn time. And the good thing about these two is that mohair, it make it last forever. Like mohair doesn't allow things to create balls, and That is something that I really appreciate in my knitting, because I like to knit for things and they're going to last me forever, not for things that I just going to dispose and just forget it about them. Mohair help that a lot. I am sorry, I know we're talking about a summer top. You don't have to choose the mohair, but I just want to let you know that it's an option, and this top can be made for the summer or for the winter. The reason why I like these tops a lot for the winter is because I cannot do any homework with long sleeves. I get like absolutely uncomfortable, and I keep rolling it, and in the end I keep ruining my sweater because this gets ruined, or I keep dipping my sweater in my soup or in my rice or in my pasta, and it looks terrible. So I tend to love short sleeve kind of tops that they're made with wool too. And if you want to make the top for the autumn or for the winter, that's good too. And you can make it for the summer. So it's a great pattern in that sense. The last thing that I would like to talk a bit extra, and just because all of us we're starting this thing together, is the swash. Please wash your swash. And when I say wash, I just mean put your swash in water, and like not too cold, not too warm, with a bit of shampoo. Let it stay for like about 10 minutes, then dry it with a towel, and then let it to dry to the air, and just measure it after. And that gauge is really important. That's the gauge you're going to be using, because that top that you're making is going to be washed. And so if you don't know how it's going to look when it's already been wet, you're really not sure if that's going to be fitting you. So I want everybody to walk away from here with a top that actually fit them and made them feel good. And in the next videos that I have prepped for you, that I'm prepping for you, we're going to be studying 5 techniques, and I think I'm going to try to you in the best way as possible. We're going to see how to cast on. We're going to see how to do raglan increases in a very beautiful way. In the same time, we're going to be doing short rods. And then I'm going to show you how I whip my ends and how I cast off. That's basically the basic techniques. I think this video will be very useful for people who are starting to knit. And for the ones that they're not starting to knit, this is fun because we can play with the stripes. Stripes is one of my favorite things to knit. Actually, striping is a really good way of using color. And all the time you're making the next stripe, you're really looking for what is going to happen. That's why stripes are something that it go really quick. It's go really quick because you're so happy making it. You're so happy want to see what is going to happen in the next stripe. And if you're an expert knitter, we can hang out together, and you can leave me your comments, and we can get closer as a community. The last thing that I want to mention today, if you haven't registered yet, register your project in Ravelry, then you can participate, because some of the prizes are really good prizes. And we're going to have a nice set of Chigon needles. We're going to have a couple of gift cards from UNIT, and we're going to have a lot of new patterns going around to you. Thanks for having stayed to the end, and thanks to do this knit along with us. And don't forget that the way to communicate in this knit along is going to be through Ravelry mainly, but you can leave comments here too. But Ravelry is very important, because if you register in Ravelry, you participate in the prizes. So I have also a newsletter, and in the newsletter you can be knowing what is in sale in my patterns, what is new. If you want to be the first one to know, please register in my newsletter. Please leave me a comment in the video. Please follow me, register in my podcast, then I can be making more videos for you, then I can share with you the techniques that I use to make my patterns.